Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host, Kenkukun. And today we got special guest DJ, one of my friends that's been playing Destiny 1 and 2 with me for a long time. Met him in Vault of Glass, and then Forrest been playing with him since Destiny 1 for a very long time. How are you two today?
Alright,
Good.
good.
All right. So we want to. I haven't talked to them about anything on the video. The Destiny 2 reveal just came out for the future of Destiny, right? So I want to be very clear. I'm not here to be the negative Nancy. I'm just here to give my forethought. And if you guys think that's super negative out there in the community, well, I apologize. But it's the questions that need to be asked, answered, not deflected, not dodged, and not brought up by the developers. So I know Dr. Lupo did his Q&A. No offense, Dr. Lupo. I think they picked the wrong guy. All right, I'm gonna say that right now. He's not invested in the game. He's not always playing the game. I'm sure he asked smart questions. I'm sure he asked good question. I'm sure he asked plenty of questions from the community that said, "Hey, I'm going to do this Q&A. What kind of questions do you want me to ask?" Boom, right from the community out there. So again, no offense, I don't think it was the right person to do it, but I'll go back and watch the Q&A later, and maybe my opinion will be changed. Maybe he asked exactly everything we needed. So first things first, Force DJ, initial overall thought on what you seen on the reveal. Um,
I like
okay.
it. I thought it was good. I like the ideas. I honestly think that they should, when they were talking about that vote thing, I think they should get rid of more planets. Like I think if getting rid of more old stuff that nobody's playing, like quite a few planets and stuff like that, to expand upon the idea of doing more with the new stuff or the current stuff, I think that's fine. I mean, if you're at your capacity memory wise, yeah, put that stuff in a vote. Bring it back later. I mean, MMOs do that all the time. They'll just bring back an old raid, spruce it up. Like, I don't see a problem with that. I like the darkness thing. I like the use of the story. My only question that I would just ask: 60 frames per second sound great. That was probably a must for the new system. Honestly, I like the ideas. I liked their attitude about it. My biggest concern, I think, is it's like they're going in the right direction far as idea wise, but it's the execution of it and how many more risks, like what are the risks that we're going to take? Because you got expansion every year, this layout, which is not a bad idea. You got new destinations every year. That's great. That's a good pattern. Like that right there, in my idea, is a great pattern to start. Invested in Destiny 2 and changing it, not a bad idea. That's a great investment to start. But what are the other risks? Because right now I feel like they're going in the right direction, but they're also playing it safe. Like they're not really being risky. Like because they're afraid of we had that talk about our community, right? Like, and I think that's the issue. I think it's like they're not taking the risk. They're not really taking risks where let's really shake things up and try something truly different in the game.
Okay.
That's where I
So,
Okay.
stand there.
DJ.
oh, so I'm kind of opposite of four. So I think they're on the right. I know they're on the right track, and I definitely like everything they're doing with retiring some old content and then bringing in new content slowly. Because you don't want to bring in too much stuff and not get it right. Right? Their big thing is about getting it right. They take their chances, but they know what their community more or less is looking for. But they're gonna take their chances every now and again. Um, and it gives you time to explore that content. You don't want to be overburdened with having too much new content, and it feels like a brand new game. Um, and it gives you time to play the content and then take a break. Don't burn yourself out and go play something else, and then come back. The direction they're going with the storyline, I think is great. They're bringing everything together, or they're trying to wrap everything up, which is something that was missing for a while in Destiny, right? Like they bringing back Elsie Bray for The Stranger, which is a storyline that people have been waiting for 5 years now. Um, so I agree with everything they're doing, and I look forward to seeing what comes next, season after season. And right now, as we're doing this, I'm playing the game and enjoying it, 'cause I like new stuff, and I've been here throughout the last 6 years of Destiny, and I'm not going anywhere.
All right. So I like where this is about to go because I would say I'm on the complete opposite spectrum of both of you. I would say there was more questions than excitement for me, and more concerns than there was happy news from them to me. I do like new content. Um,
Hmm.
I've always said the same thing. So I asked Bobby. I said, "Hey, Bobby, I went out to get some food. I was like, all right, I can't get a hold of Forrest. He's busy. Let me kind of touch base with Bobby, see what he had to say." And I said, Bobby, initial thoughts. And he said, Ken, I heard you as soon as they started talking about bringing old content back. I heard your voice in my head. Stop recycling. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of recycled content. Um, so let's go ahead and we'll touch base on um them bringing back old content, I guess. So, Forrest, you said you think that's a good
Okay.
idea and a bad idea. A good idea.
No, yeah, no, I think it's a good
Mm-hmm.
idea in the essence of that's fine if you kind of bring it in to kind of spruce up the
Mm-hmm.
game, kind of seasonal thing like yo, let's pop this in here. I think that's great because MMOs
Mm-hmm.
do it. But for the most part, I'm on the other spectrum of if we're voting old content to cycle in and out, vote 50% of the content is in the game now because most of it's old, nobody's playing it, and I'm on and give me way more new content. Like I think right now there is so much that's not being used and played that you can vote that and put more time and expanding that. I
Mm-hmm.
think the idea of doing that is smart because they just said it's 115 gigabytes. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, right? So yeah, vote that stuff like that. But they were talking about voting some of it, but I really hope that they're voting more than what they what they kind of let on. Because there's a lot. There's planets that no one is ever on.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there are things that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying so like I don't have a problem with you recycling content if you're recycling it seasonally. For a story thing or here and there, that's cool, right? I like that, but I don't get most of. I want new stuff as well, and I want the new stuff to be more dynamic. I think that's your time to take more risks. I see what DJ is saying when he's saying, they're gonna try to take risks for their community, but their community is so fickle. I don't like. It's almost like, and DJ is a true player. He's been around the whole time. I've been around for the majority of the time. I started playing in House of Wolves, and been playing Destiny since.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of parts where I kind of stop playing Destiny and I'll go play Monster Hunter or something like that
Mm-hmm.
because the loot grind and the way the game is played is just done better than Destiny as a whole a lot of the times. And I feel like the community are so fickle and confused for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know what they want and nothing really makes them happy. So I just feel like at this point, if we're going to do new destinations, if we're going to do new powers, then this is the time to take a risk. Let's take a couple risks. Let's try something and see what
Mm-hmm.
happens. Because the community don't know what they want. Like at this point, we've proven that the community is not sure what they want as a whole. It's split. You got those that are happy because they like the formula, like DJ, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's a long time player, but he's not most of the community. He's one of the few people that like the formula and ride with Destiny. Then you got a lot of people that just don't know what they want, and that's the majority of the community. If Destiny had more DJ, I think they'll be
So,
fine because DJ would be like he's a great player and he's very like I think most of him have left the community because those guys I think Destiny could experiment and I think it'll be really good, but they've lost most of people like DJ, which I think are good for the
Okay.
game.
All right.
so that's
Go ahead.
so so it's two parts. So like the first one, the recycling of old content. I definitely like the idea of them bringing back Bolt of Glass. That's a nostalgic thing that obviously you can't play. Nobody wants to play on old Destiny 1 platform when they want to experience just the old raid. And there's a lot of players in Destiny right now that have never experienced Vault of
Mhm.
Glass, right? And it's something that brings up a lot of the stories of, oh, who was Atheon or what was the Vex, like it ties that all in. And I would love to see, how our the way we play now and our strategies, how fast we could get it done. As far as me being a certain type of player, I don't think there needs to be more of me. I love the fact that there's an abundance of different people out there, solely PvP, solely PvE,
And then you, which does both.
helpers, sherpers, yeah, me who likes all content, people that only like new content, people that only like old content. The reason
Well,
I
here's the
like the difference because it creates a variety of stuff and a variety of the community. Because if you just have one type of player, then the game is stale and it'll never evolve.
Right.
Like it'll
no,
never
I'm not talking
because
about. I'm not talking about you as a player.
no,
I'm
no,
talking
no. I'm
about
talking about
your like your open mindedness. See, the problem is a lot of players are not open minded. There's nothing wrong with you just being a PvP player. I'm that guy. You can ask Kent. I never do PvE. I hate it. It's boring to me, and I don't like it. But I'm open minded. I understand that PvE is a very important part of the game, and it needs to be developed in a certain way so that way PvE people continue to enjoy it. So even though I don't play that, there's no way that I can dismiss the fact that that's really important. There's nothing wrong with nostalgia, but you are an open-minded player. A lot of Destiny is not open-minded. A lot of those people would not care. They like, I don't know if you check, but a lot of people wouldn't care about Voted Glass because a lot of these new players, I don't know. A lot of them is just like it's what they want, and if they don't get what they want, Bungie's terrible. And that's what
yeah.
I've been seeing, and that's what I'm saying. Not you specifically, but you have a very open mind. Like you have a very like, yo,
Like there was a
if
time, and Ken could vouch for it, where I left Destiny and I will only come back maybe for trials or whatever. But I was gone. I was Fortniting for what, like eight,
Yeah,
nine
quite a long
months,
time.
and I was gone. And Ken was like, "Damn, you ain't never coming back."
Mm-hmm.
And then Forsaken came back, and that was it. Forsaken came back. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
that, and
So
uh, towards the end, I got busy, and then Shadowkeep came out. So the variety of stuff that came into the game brought me back. I never left. I
waited.
just was like, okay, yeah, I wait, and I did the content. I did everything was there, and then I just said, all right, I'll come back when there's refresh stuff or stuff that I want to
Right.
do.
All right. So let me bridge you two right there. So I think it's good that there are. It would be nice to have more open-minded people, but there's not. So I would agree with DJ that I think it's good that there's only people that enjoy, want, and only care about PvP, PvE, and do a little bit of mix of both because that forces the developers to try and please everyone, good for the good and for the bad. And once they finally hit that medium, right, which is a good thing about their I don't like recycled content, but they're going to take some stuff out and put new stuff in and then bring old stuff in as well. I think that's good. That's going to hit that medium a little bit more hopefully going forward. You're going to get the people that want the nostalgia effect. You're going to get them new people that don't know what they're missing out on from Destiny 1 or don't want to go back or can't go back because they just no one does it, or maybe every once in a while, oh well, we're going to go play it. You want to come play it with us from, people in the streaming community and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so again, that's gonna be really good for them. And then when they come out with the new stuff, the people that only care about the new things, which me, I'm more for new stuff, they're gonna be happy for that, and they're gonna be excited for that. So it's you're forcing Bungie with all of this variety of players. Bungie is forced to find a medium, and that is a hard, long road for any game developer. And I will always say that
but
it's a long road.
you just made my point. But you just made my point though. Even though that's what you care for, you are open
Oops.
minded to everybody's niche, and that's my thing. DJ's open minded. There's a lot
Right, right,
that are not.
and that's fine. They don't need to be open minded for Bungie to do their job and do it properly. That's where I'm going with that.
Right.
Mm?
That's the same thing I was saying. Like they don't need to.
They, you know, the
it's gonna be people here that's gonna enjoy the content no matter what.
You
So
and you will have those people that they'll be closed minded, they'll be one way, and no matter what Bungie does, they will stick with the game until it's dead. That's called, that's called
mhm.
fanboys, fangirls. Like they those are the people that go out there and make those, um, what niche groups for games that they just will not let die. Never. So that happens, right? That they will be out there. So it doesn't matter if they're open minded or not when it comes to the game. Bungie, I believe, can, and eventually, I don't believe they've yet to do it, but they will find that medium for them that works for them with the amount of staff they have, the resources and funding they have, and the technology they have, which is one of the things we'll talk about here in a. I think we're gonna broach into that topic now. Is the technology at hand? So let me give my piece on the recycling real quick. I do like it. I like that stuff is going to come in. The topic, my opinion has to come with the new technology, and I'll come back and touch on it later. I also dislike it, but I think what they're doing, they're bringing in new content, bringing in old content, getting out irrelevant content here and there. I, I never would have thought of that. To me, when it comes to the game, it's like just expand, bring more. What are you doing? Why am I on the same planets? Right? And now they're like, well, we're gonna take some old stuff out, bring some new stuff in. We're gonna allow to do that. I'm like, okay, good. If I don't want to play the old stuff, I don't have to. I'll go do the new stuff if I'm enticed to, and if not, I'll just keep doing what I do, which is a lot of PvP. So, platform, what did they say? Parent cross-platform, PS4 to PS5, Xbox One X to the Xbox alphabet name. I don't know what it's called in the future. So,
Mhm.
how do you guys feel about that? I would.
I think that's fine. I mean, that's what they did with the PS.
No, they
What
no,
was it?
they didn't.
Bungie never did it.
They didn't do that with the once you know, yeah, they didn't do that with
I
the
must be thinking.
PS3 to
I must be thinking.
PS4. So
This is
that was two
I
this is
thought
what,
that.
different.
but this is okay. So
Oh,
there's only
okay.
one relevant thing. When people got Destiny 1 on PS3, I think they could get it for a discounted price to the PS4 or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't have a PS3, so
Um.
that's just I believe that's the only thing I remember about that.
I thought there was some type of interaction. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been some years. Either way, I think that's a good deal. Like I think having people, who don't have the money to buy the new system or whatever,
Right.
can
Because the
play with
system
their
is gonna
friends.
be yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
hard to. It's not gonna be as available as what you think when it first comes out. Because everybody's gonna buy it. They only gonna have limited quantities.
and it's
So
expense. You may not be able to afford it at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
right. So it
I
still
think
keeps
that's
you
great.
relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get to play. So I think that's great. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
a no-brainer that they even put it out. Plus, it keeps them in competition with the X series thing
Yeah.
because that's what they're doing. So they're able to kind of still like some games can still compete
Mm-hmm.
because the X series doing full compatibility. So like that's what they claim that they're doing. So that's a huge way to kind of like stay
Yeah.
relevant because they doing
Well,
it with
you
all
well
their
you
games.
you
That's
got to
what that's what
remember
they,
though, it's down to the developers. The Xbox, Microsoft, Sony. I believe it's down to the developers whether they choose to or not make cross, uh, parent cross platforming. I guess is what they said. Parent cross platforming. So
Right.
it's up to the
I'm just telling
developers.
you what
And yeah,
I'm just telling you what Xbox said, what
I don't care. I
Microsoft
don't care what
said. They
Microsoft said.
said every
Microsoft's not a part of
game.
the conversation
So
at the moment. They are, they have nothing to do with what Bungie does with the game most of the time. All right, let me be very clear. Most of the time, which is where we're gonna tie into that. That's gonna tie into another topic I got to bring up here in a little bit. Again, everything I gotta say ties into everything they said. It's hard for me to dissect one piece at a
I
time.
understand.
So, yeah, I think it's a.
Yeah, but I don't. I wanna hold up. I wanna clarify something because you missed my point. My point is not that it has anything to do with Microsoft. My point is that with Microsoft doing that, and if that claim is true, and the majority of the games are doing that, that is a good way for Bungie to stay relevant versus those games, whether it be exclusive to Microsoft or not, can continue to do that. Plus, if they make it for Xbox, that's already a given because Xbox has already claimed that that's what their games are going to do. That was my point. Not anything about Microsoft that I think is a good idea because it keeps them relevant in a marketing aspect. On top of the fact that it's good for the consumer because they don't have to spend money on a PS5 to stay
Well, then
relevant
we
as well.
then we
That
come
was
to
my
the
point.
age old topic, the Destiny killing game, which hasn't existed and probably never will, because you say it,
It did. It did
and
come out.
it didn't kill it. Nothing's killed it. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Like, yeah,
That's just a
nothing's
joke.
killed it. So even I think if Destiny didn't do that, and I think it would be a bad move if they didn't allow PS3 to play with PS4 and Xbox One to play with the Xbox A through Z. Um, that would be a bad move. But I don't think any other game's gonna be like, oh, Division, we can do that with Division 2, 2, 3, or 2-1, guys. It's exciting. No one's gonna care. We're in Destiny. We're not in Division. All right, that Division's trains past for most of the people that are playing Destiny. They're not going back to it. Right. Same thing with Monster Hunter. Same thing with anything else that came out that was remotely close or even talked about as the Destiny killing game. So I think it's a good thing. I think it keeps the community instead of what would divide the community of players, which is if you play Trials a lot and you've been playing any comp a lot this last season towards the end. This last weekend, I ran into a lot of the same teams. So I knew, I'm like, wow, I know it's the last season. People are either checked out or, the player base has dropped once again. And yeah, probably because people are just, well, we're done. We don't, we're just chilling. It's the calm before the, it's the
Yeah.
calm before the next season, and we're just gonna relax. So it's gonna keep the player base connected, and I think that's a big, big win. And it would have been a very easy miss as far as the future of the game was concerned. And it also ties into the next topic, which is they're going to go and do cross.
Hey y'all. Hey, I gotta finish this. I gotta go.
You gotta go.
But yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.
I'm
All
still
right.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
if you gotta finish this, or if you gotta go, then you gotta go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put them on mute so we don't have to hear the echo chat. Give me a moment, or everyone out there watching. Oh, there we go. All right.
Life
Yeah,
of
life of family
man.
man. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So, he had said, he had a little bit of time. I was trying to get a good 30-minute discussion in, but we're gonna keep on going. So we're gonna go with DJ. We're gonna continue. That was Force Inc. I'll leave links in the description below if you want to check out some of his music, his content on his YouTube. Well, I think he's more on Spotify now. So I'll leave links in the description below to at least his Twitter, because that's where you'll catch all of his stuff. And cross platform. All right, they brought that up. They said this year they want to do the cross parenting, which will happen when the new systems drop or sometime shortly after. If it's anything like before, it probably won't happen because Bungie has a track record. I don't know the exact example, but Bungie has a track record where sometimes they say something's coming and it takes a little bit longer in the season. All right, so I would not be surprised, and I know I'm not going to be surprised when it drops in the fall and we don't have the fall consoles because they're slated for the holiday. And then even when they come out, it may take a little bit longer. So, but now they're going to do the cross-platform in 2021 is when they want to do that. What are your thoughts on that, DJ?
Yeah. So it depends. So for PvE content, I love the cross platform, especially with Xbox and PC. Um, for PvE content, that sounds awesome to me. Now for PvP, everybody knows that that's going to be the big debate. Uh, controller aim assist, nerfs, um, just different weapon types that work better on mouse and keyboard than they do. So I already know that's gonna start a whole nother argument when that time comes. Um, but as far as the the PvE aspect, I think that's probably one of the best things they could have done because you do have friends that play on different devices. I mean, obviously a lot of our friends are tied into what we play currently, which is PlayStation 4, but
Mm-hmm.
to have those other friends that we meet say, "Oh, I play on PC or I play on Xbox,"
Yeah.
or even my kids, they have an Xbox, and I would love to play with them when they playing. So I think that's going to be a positive effect in the future. I mean, look at Fortnite, for example. They went crossplay and it just made it even more massive.
Yeah,
Um,
and they went through their discrepancy of mouse and keyboard versus controller and blah. And when I get on the game every once in a while, I do see a difference. It's like, oh man, that I feel like that dude's using a mouse and keyboard, and skill wise, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because there's Destiny and Fortnite are a little bit different when it comes to the building aspect. With a mouse and keyboard, you can do I think you can do a lot more faster. Maybe I'm just not that good of a player because I don't play it often. I don't play it a lot. I haven't touched it in months. I never kept up with it. Maybe there's a controller player out there that does, phenomenal and can keep up with the mouse and keyboard. But with all the shortcuts that the keyboard could possibly have, or all the macro buttons on a mouse, it's hard. It's hard to say. It'd be interesting if you guys want to let me know in the comment section below. Not starting a debate or an argument, just could a controller keep up with most keyboard players on Fortnite? And then yeah, you bring that into Destiny too. So so yeah, there are some concerns. Do you have anything else to add to that? For the
no, that I'm looking
Okay.
forward to. I mean, it's a year and a half out per
Yeah.
se, so it's not something that's like right in my front view.
Mm-hmm.
So
So this is
it's not going to affect me.
okay. So this is what's good about the parenting cross-platform, right? PS4 to PS5. We're just gonna. No offense, forget Xbox. I'm tired of saying 4 consoles. All right, so we got the PS4 and PS5. You got 30 frames to 60 frames. Now, they didn't, unless I missed it, DJ. They didn't say anything about PS4 getting 60 frames, did they?
Yes, PS4 will have 60. They said it's going to move to
Ooh,
60. No,
did they?
did they? No, I had to reset. No, the next gen
Okay,
consoles will be unlocked for 60. That's what they said. Next gen consoles,
okay,
you'll be able to do 60 frames per
okay,
second. So the downfall, 30 frames to 60 frames when you're playing with your friends.
okay. So, what do you mean?
So your friends will still be on PS4. They're locked at 30 frames,
Oh,
and
okay, okay,
then
okay. You'll be
you're
at
playing
60
with
frames though.
somebody on PS.
If you were on the PS5,
Yeah,
you would be at 60. Okay, the way you
yeah.
said that, it made it sound like if you're a PS5 user and you play with PS4 user, you have to go back to 30 frames a second to compensate for that.
No, no,
And I was just like, what?
I'm
You got to bring
sorry.
it down?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
I'm surprised I didn't hear
No,
all
no,
about that on Twitter yet. Okay, so I think that's a good. So
no.
that's stepping stone number one. It's like taking a year of time, and people are like, oh, they're gonna have frame. Because I asked Bobby, I said, hey Bobby, is there an advantage between me on 30 frames versus someone on PC with like 120 frames or more? What advantages do they have over me? And he said field of view, and that's really it. And I said, okay, so they're not moving faster than me, they're not doing anything faster than me, it's just everything looks faster. uh, and of course, the frame by frames, I'm sure he's gonna somewhere something minute might give him a slight advantage. But he essentially said if you're a smart player and you're good at the game, you won't really have a problem. It has nothing to do with mouse and keyboard. I just wanted to know how the frames were going to interact, and we'll have about a year and a half to find out. We'll have about a year and a half to find out. Maybe closer to a year, because if they plan on it in the fall 2021, right? We have to wait for the consoles to come out closer to December, so that's still like 8 to 10 months where we're going to have 30 FPS, 60 FPS working in tandem between each other. And we get to see in PvP, how is that going to affect the game? Is it a big deal? Is it not? And probably not. So then you get into the cross platform. And DJ said it's going to be good to reconnect and re-bridge with people. DJ didn't bring up the hot topic. Now this has been the hot topic on PC for the longest time when it comes to PvP. Cheaters. If when that Bungie has announced a very ambitious thing to do with Destiny when they say cross-platform, because a lot of games have done it already, they're behind, and now they've set a goal of 2021, and the hurdle they have is not only making that happen, we need coding and infrastructure and all that. They got to make sure that are they going to pollute the players from PC to the PS4 and or the console players where with cheating. How is that going to affect us? How is that going to affect the whole economy? That's one reason, you'll never catch me on PC is I don't know how often cheaters happen. I really don't, but I don't even want to find out, I don't want to find out the percentage of how often it happens. I don't want to be susceptible to that to a degree. I know cheating happens in a lot of PC games. I'm sure cheating happens on PS4. We've seen it in the past with others. And we're not even talking DDoSing. We're just straight up old fashioned. My guy can't die. Infinite lives. Unlimited spawning. I spawn here. You spawn there. You spawn with no guns. You spawn with no feet. I've seen throughout all of my gaming history. I've seen a lot of stuff happening. So the elephant in the room wasn't addressed by them. They didn't say. And I know some people are concerned with, PC and cheaters. They never brought that up. So hopefully they have a plan that needs to be addressed in the future. Again, it's still a year away. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes, because that's my biggest concern right there, is the cross-platform with PvP. With PvE, I'm not worried about it. You're playing with people people you trust, and no one's really going to be able to pollute where you go, especially if you're just in an instance like a raid or a strike or a dungeon or anything like that. Just the regular open world. And let's face it, unless they come out with spectacular, awe-inspiring open world content, we're really not going to be there either, right? So, all right. So now I said that I was on, a different spectrum from DJ and Forrest, and I still stand by that. So now I'm going to go back and revisit kind of everything we talked about a little bit and touch up on it myself. So when they said recycling content, they also said, we can't keep up with updating the game. So if we keep bringing in more things, we're not going to be able to keep up with updating it with patches. And I said, well, MMOs do it all the time. And when they make things relevant, Force brought up when they bring things back and they update them. One of the biggest things, let's see, World of Warcraft, from when I played it quite often, they came out with the older strikes, right? Dungeons, what they would be called. They came out with older strikes, and they would just up their light level to like the max light level, and then you would get gear that would only bring you up to so high of a level, and then you would have to go do the raids. And Bungie tried to bring back old raids in Destiny 1 and in Destiny 2, where they would update the power. I think they could make old raids relevant, and they could always keep them relevant if they just gear specific stuff that's good for that ecosystem and the economy. But the big thing is, this is what I heard when they said recycling content and we can't keep up with it. I also heard limited resources. The PS4 and the Xbox One is always going to hold Destiny 2 back as far as expanse of universe. So to try and keep they wanted to stay with, when they said we're sticking with Destiny 2 till 2022 at least, this is at the least, PS4, Xbox One gonna hold them back. They won't be able to expand. They'll always have to recycle, and that's where the happy medium comes into play, where they take out some of the old stuff, bring in some new stuff, bring in some old stuff, and they just kind of go through it. So I can, you can expect that until 2022 or longer. But that's what I heard. My ears picked up and said, "Oh man, we're tied to this console and its hardware. The PS5 is tied to the PC is tied to what the PS4 and the Xbox One can do." I was not happy to hear that, because that means, um, I'm ready for Destiny 3. I'm ready for something more and big. I want the world to kind of dynamically change instead of, I would, it would be silly for me to say bring out the size of the planets compared to No Man's Sky, where you literally go on the scale of a planet. But I want more, and
See,
it's for them to be tied to the consoles. It's hard for them to bring out more. Like, I want social spaces. I want more social space. I want to, have my own clan house and
I'll
celebrate that.
I'll differ that on you.
Mm-hmm.
So when they did move to the new consoles in D1, um, they gave it time. So they gave it, I think it was about a year, 6 months, a year, where they were constantly, still doing stuff on um both the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and then there was one of the DLCs drop. It was either Rise of Iron or prior to the Rise of Iron, where they would not update and they specifically said any old generation hardware is not going to get these updates. This is only for new generation consoles, and they only did it for the PlayStation 4. So there's going to come a time where they break with old generation consoles, and it's usually about a year to 18 months, and they break with them, and they only give the updates to new generation consoles to handle the whatever it is they're putting into the game. So there is a time where they do break with the old generation consoles.
Okay. See, now, again, I don't remember that. I've played so much Destiny. DJ remembers that. I did not remember that. So I know there will come a time, yeah. So there will come a time when that happens. So that's exciting. Again, it's still for me. For me, I don't want to be tied back, but at the same time, if this is, if they think this is a better course to take, and whether it's, their decision was influenced because the PS4 was tied to it, low on resources, manpower, money, whatever you want to call it. If this was the best course of action for them to take, then so be it. I'm okay with that, and I hope that they do the best they can with the situation that they're in, which is everything that encompasses everything. Excuse me. So that's what I was concerned with. I was I just it was dread, it was doom, it was gloom for me, and it was like and I'm also afraid that this sounds cool, but it sounds like they're gonna trickle in content for quite some time, which is also what they already do that in the seasons. They kind of trickle content through. Let's take this season. I haven't dived in, and I usually don't play Destiny on Tuesdays. I take my time off. So real quick, DJ, so far, what is new with this season? Like what can we expect through the life of this season besides a new dungeon? I assume there's one. Okay.
Yes, it comes out in 30
Okay.
minutes.
So what is new with this season? What is it?
So this season is more of the story content. So right now, just starting and playing for the past few hours, it's more of a story content. Um, and essentially it's almost like season of what was the one with not this last season, the one before, or even the bunkers. Like you have to upgrade things. So like you have to upgrade bunker style stuff at the
Mm-hmm.
drifter, and so that's common knowledge. People are like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what to do there. But I think more they brought more story aspect this season. So like there was a story mission so far. And that's really it. The weapons are new. They got some new weapons and you're getting them faster. They got new armor, you're getting it faster. So a lot of the stuff that has yet to be revealed, we haven't really seen yet. Like there's an activity that supposedly is supposed to be out, we haven't seen yet. I haven't seen it yet. And the public event is not that, shouldn't be the activity. I hope not. Um, so they said it wasn't, so we're waiting for the activity. Obviously, the dungeon is a good thing, but once people run through the dungeon to get all their loot, then it's gonna turn into speed runs or whatever else they want to do. So
Okay. So to me, it's this season. I expected from this season. People were like, What are you excited for this season?" I'm like, I don't know, because it's probably gonna trickle out like every season has until the fall, because the fall is right around the corner. And Bungie's track record is trickle something out. Here's a quest. Oh, and now here's quest number. Here's step 2 to this quest over this next week, and then here's step 3 to this quest. They've done that in the past. They've time gated a lot of things. They've trickled things out. So from a PvP standpoint, DJ didn't say anything PvP wise. So for me, it sounds like if I don't dive into any of the story, well, it'll just be me running around until they sunset my weapons and going and finding new weapons and possibly new armor. So I got another 3 months, which is fine because I can always play other games. I can always go, they have Last of Us Part 2 coming out soon that I kind of want to play. They got Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm highly anticipating and really want to play in July. And then I don't know if there's anything in August. So, until until the fall hits. I got a couple of things that I can play and enjoy myself on and other games as and continue to play the game. So last thing we're gonna talk about, oh boy, sub class. All right, they said new element. They never said new subclass. All right, Bobby brought that up. Well, they didn't say new subclass. Ken and I was like, oh okay. So it's a new element, which if you take Solar Void and Arc, those are subclasses. You got the classes, you got the Hunter class, and then in the Hunter class there are 3 subclasses. Solar, Void, Arc. So they may have said element, and I don't remember if they said subclass, but we all expect a subclass, and we all expect 3 branches on that subclass for each, so 9 total. That's what I expect. I think probably a lot of people are going to expect that too. So, are you excited for that, DJ? I'm pretty sure the unanimous answer for that is yes.
I didn't get that from. Well, I got that part that they're gonna have new elemental type subclass, but what I got from it is it's more or less gonna sort of revert back to how D1 was, and Luke Smith mentioned that you're gonna be able to pick and choose what you want from your elemental subclass.
Oh my
So
God! Really? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, so you need to go back and look at it, and that's what I was watching. I was like, wait, you're gonna be able to pick and choose. So they said it's gonna change from the diamond choose one thing and that's all you get
Thank
to
God!
more of a grid of pick and choose. So I believe that the element of, I guess, being probably like a Dark Sun Singer or whatever the case is, because obviously we haven't seen it yet, but I think that's going to be a choice. Like you could do this thing and then have this dark class and have some of these abilities.
God.
So I know the grid stuff is going to change on how you choose your powers within your subclass. Now, whether it's a different subclass or a different, I don't think it's a different element unless they make it a dark element. But that, obviously they talked in code, so nobody really knows. They have to wait and see. But I do know, yeah. So like your Stormcaller, you're gonna be probably to take Arc Soul and put it on your top tree.
Oh man, I'm going back to Landfall Blinking, baby.
Right. So essentially that's what I heard. That's what I heard, that you'll be able to pick and choose. Now, how you pick and choose, I don't know, but obviously everybody did not like how the subclass trees were for D2.
No, that when they announced in Destiny 2 they wanted to go more RPG aspect, when they announced that, which was a more static subclass, and I think they did that because people wanted more balance in the game, so they did that along the way with, well, we're not going to have random rolls and weapons, we're going to have static rolls and weapon. Everything's going to be balanced. You can't mix and match your subclass, which again, even if you mix and match your subclass at year 1 Destiny 2, everyone's going to pick the most powerful stuff. There's, everyone has the choice to choose, this is the best combination versus this is just whatever you like, right? So when they locked that in, I thought that was a very what was it? A very contradictory move with what they stated. And so anyone that's asked me and watches this video, what am I most excited for? That I'm most excited for the option and the ability to really customize my playstyle truly to how I want to play, and that goes for everyone. I think that's a huge W, and that they should have reversed that a long time ago. So like DJ said, nobody really knows about the subclass. Nobody really knows, if it's just going to be a new element, if it's just somebody thrown in on the tree. I don't expect you're going to be able to mix and match Arc and Solar together, which would be, I would almost take a $50 bet with DJ today right now, but I don't want to, risk losing $50. That maybe in the future you can mix and match Solar and Arc. They're out of ideas, and it's like, what if we go anime style and boom, you got Naruto, we use, fire and wind, with Sasuke and Naruto, and it's like, boom, now you just gotta know a new powerful, a super attack. 2 people pop their super attacks, Chaos Reach and Blade Barrage. Now you got a fiery tornado of electricity and fire knives just flying all over.
No way, man.
Like a drill coming at you. So this is what I heard. I forget where, I don't know if I read it on Bungie.net or if I heard it in the video. Fallen ordered the Fallen. I seen the word Fallen, And first thing that came to mind was reskinned enemies. They said a new element, and that's all I heard. I seen a new element in the video. I seen what looked like a fallen captain, and I was just like, good lord, this is the recycling I don't like. This is what keeps me away from PvE is Cabal, Vex, Hive, Fallen, and then they just reskin it, you know. We go I've said it so many times. We go back you know, they introduced I think the high what were the originals? The Vex, Fallen, and Cabal, right? Those were the original three. And then the Hive came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. All right.
And
And I was like, that was great. That was cool. And
no, the Hive were on Earth. They were there.
okay, so there was 4 in the beginning?
Cause the Knights were underground. Yeah, there was always 4.
Okay, so there were 4. Okay, well then my
It was the Taken.
right, my
that
memory's
came
a
out
little
of
skewed. So the
nowhere.
Taken was here, and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, the Taken's here, and you know, you got Taken Fallen. You never had Taken Vex, right? Or did you? I don't remember now. You do? Okay.
do.
See, I don't play. You could tell I don't play PvE anymore. All right, so the Taken came and took whatever they want, but they just kept reskinning. It went from the Taken to the Siva to the oh crap, what came after that? The Taken, Siva, something.
And then that's it. Then it went.
Really, that's it.
Siva was
Okay.
the last thing.
And then, so
Siva
yeah,
was the last
yeah.
thing. Then
They never really brought in a new race, I guess you would say, and it's usually been and now we're gonna get what we're gonna get here. You know, what, another darkness? Like they're gonna go. What are the Taken gonna go beyond darkness? Like where's it going with this? So I'm just like.
So yeah, so it's more Fallen and then Sabbathdoom coming on.
Yeah, so I want more when it comes to PvE content, I would like a new race. I would like brand new mechanics. I don't want to go up into a strike boss and it's big, it knocks you back. It's small, it knocks you back. Like I want something very fresh going forward. And I would like to see that maybe every 2 years. Maybe they can't do it every year. Maybe it's too much. Maybe every 2 years, just something brand spanking new that doesn't make me feel like I'm doing, like DJ said, we're gonna go level up new bunkers. I don't want to do that. I didn't even want to do that last season. I did that for like a day and I never went back. Like,
I mean, like right now I'm doing old content because that's the only way to level up right now is to do Gambit.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Strikes. I mean, it's you gotta do your raids later when you.
So, again, I just want something enticing. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe I'm part of the community where I don't know what I want in PvE until it comes up and until Bungie comes across that glorious elixir of life for me. I won't know what it is until it happens. I just know right now I'm still in the boat where I kind of don't want to do PvE stuff because there's no reason for me to do it. The raids are fun. They're usually always fun, and I'll do it. I haven't completed a full raid in like 2 raids. Last Wish. That was the last one I fully completed. Last Wish. That was it. So I think I'm 3 raids behind. And I'm just like, they're fun. And I've done like half of 2 of them and none of 1 of them. But once I do them once, it's just like, I don't want to do it again. You know, there's no incentive to it. Powerful gear, I'll get that over time. There's no race for that. Like this last season, I hit... Did they increase the light level? Okay,
yes.
So I hit the base light level of close to 110. Really close to 110 the very last week on all 3 characters. And that was practically from PvP. This season, I'll probably put more effort into the PvE just because I do want to expand with my community. I want to expand with my clan. I'm actually going to try to revitalize my clan and go back in like that. So I am going to try to get back into more PvE. But those are my thoughts on the long and dark road of Destiny 2 and its content and its future. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see, you know, if it's doom and gloom or if, you know, Bungie's kind of hit that happy medium where it's going to work out for everyone going forward. No one knows yet. No one knows, but people don't want the game to die. I don't want the game to die. I don't want the game to fail. I want it to succeed. How it succeeds, I don't think anyone really knows, you know. Sometimes that's the way the games, you know, sometimes that's the way games are. We don't know what's going to succeed until it finally succeeds. So, you know, here's to hoping. Here's, you know, I really hope that all of my speculations and all of my you know, all I could hear was I couldn't really hear the positives. I could only hear the negatives, and I don't want to blame Bungie for that. Well, Bungie, you made me feel like this. It's just like, oh, uh, it's you know, it's just the way the game has kind of evolved for me, or maybe you know that's the type of player I am when it comes to games. I just eventually I just all right, I'm just checking out of this game. There's been plenty of games where I just won't go through and finish because I'll just play it for a while, be like, and I'm out, and I won't go back to it, or I'll go back to it, you know, very rarely. But anyway, thank you for your time once again. This was DJ Force from earlier, and I'll try to touch back up with him and his thoughts. But thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you enjoy the reveal? Do you have any pressing questions, any discussions? And yeah, leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a thumbs down if you hated it. At least leave something and hit that subscribe button. And I will catch everyone next time. We'll talk to you real soon.